Welcome back to today's video. Today I wanted to do a kind of a learning video. It's going to be how to contour. I know that's something out there in the makeup area that is maybe a little bit more confusing to some. To me, it's kind of like wing liner at first. I couldn't figure out how to do it, and then once I did, you just get the hang of it. So I thought I would teach you my ways on how I contour. So if you'd like to know, just keep watching. So for me, for contouring, I always want to start with the base of it. So I was just going to plan on just doing the contour, so for the rest I'm going to speed it all up. But I do want to apply foundation first to create a very clean base for the contour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think, mix the Hard Candy foundation in the L'Oreal True Match. I'm going to mix them and then just put it all over my face. Now I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm going to conceal the under eye and on top of the eye. Alright, so now that that is all on, I don't want it to crease, so I'm going to set it with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, which looks like that. So I'm going to set the under eyes and then the whole face. So one of the next great challenges finding the contour palette that you're going to use. There's expensive ones, there's cheaper ones. The one I would absolutely recommend is about $25, and it is the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette, which I forgot. I didn't know that I was going to use this, but I would have used the powders to set my concealer and everything. But this palette literally has everything. It has a highlight, bronzers, contours, powders. It has everything. So what I'm going to do is I am going to contour with a more gray shade, because the bronzer is meant to warm up your face and the contour is meant to carve out your face. So I'm going to pick probably this guy for contouring, because I want him to be a little bit more on the gray side, but not like death gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that up on some brush. Let me find a brush. So if you have just started contouring, I would advise you to go in with a bit of a smaller brush so that you can get a more precise application. If you go in with like a brush like this with a contour, it's gonna be like all over your face, and you might want to do like a bigger brush for like bronzer. And the objective is with contour is to bring it high up, so you're gonna put it right here and then blend upward to make it appear as if your cheekbone is lifted. If you blend downward, it's just gonna look all muddy in that area and not very good. So I'm going to go in with this color right here with a e.l.f. mineral powder brush. I don't know, I'm just gonna give this brush a try. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right here and then be blending like upward and back. My suggestion for contouring would be to start with a little and then add on. So if you feel that it is looking a little too harsh, which I find that usually when I'm doing my makeup on the camera, it doesn't look like it's very harsh on the camera, but it does to me in person. So I will go and blend this out because I don't want it to be intense or harsh. Just always remember to be blending upward. And I did bring it up onto the forehead as well, or the temples. I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush, and I'm just going to go right where I just did that and blend backwards and up. So if you feel like this contour here is just not quite enough for you, you can go ahead and do more. But this is pretty much all I want to do, because you can see that it's structured and contoured, but I don't want to go really heavy with it. But there's more contouring to do, have no fear. So some people don't even bother wasting their time, but others like to contour their nose and contour their jawline. The jawline will just literally make you look skinnier. Honestly, that's what contouring does in general. It just slims your whole face down, and people contour their nose mainly because they would like it to look a different way or slimmer. So if you want to contour your nose, you're going to need a much smaller brush than this. Like this could be for like blending, but I like my brushes to be a little bit smaller so I can get a much more precise application. For the jawline, I can use this brush. Again, I'm going to go with the same color. And of course, you don't want to make this like a straight line. But I mean, you do want to make it slightly noticeable. Okay, so now I'm going to contour the nose. I am going to use an eyeshadow brush because it kind of just fits the shape of my nose. I literally never do all this contouring, so I'm kind of like doing some practice runs. But this is the Sigma Blending E25 brush. I'm going in with the same contour color I've been using. Surprising. So basically you're just going to take the brush and you want to just kind of follow the shape, like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I like to go from the eyebrow down. You can see it is just a new shape of a nose. And then when you get to the end of the nose, I like to bring it down like this. The way I like to do my makeup is to just enhance what you already have. So I don't really like to make it super noticeable, but again, that's where you can totally change it up and do it however you want to do it. Alright, so here, this is the Real Techniques, some type of sponge, and I'm literally just going to tap right over this because you don't really want to blend it out because it's such a small area. If you blend it out, it'll just kind of look muddy, but I do want to just slightly go over it. I am going to go over this too. Alright, so these powders in the palette, like the highlighting, right? The powders? I don't know. They're all really, really, really nice, and I really love these two. So what I'm going to do is probably mix those two and just highlight certain points of my face. That will also make the contour pop a little bit more. And I will be using a little flat eyeshadow brush, so I'm going to like highlight right there just to emphasize the contour a bit more. And I also didn't mention, the more you bring the contour in on the nose, the slimmer your nose will look. Now for the contouring of the face, what you'll want to do is, I don't want to go with such a small brush because I'm going to be here forever, but I do want to go in with a stiff brush. This is the brush I'm going to go in with. It's a BH Cosmetics brush, and it's really, really, really stiff. So I'm going to take those powders, and I'm pretty much just going to press this in to carve that contour out a bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with blush. I'm going to use a Wet n Wild blush in Pearlescent Pink, a really, really beautiful color, and I'm just going to highlight this part of my cheek. I'm going to go in with the highlight in this palette and an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to highlight the tops of the cheekbone, the center of the nose, and same over here. And then again, of course, I'll go back and just blend over that. Now I'm just going to throw on a lip gloss, and I am done. Alright, so that is the end of this video. I really, really hope you enjoyed and learned something. And that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next video.